Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is Star Wars Saturdays. This is an ongoing anthology campaign of tabletop RPGs that I run for the Open Hearth community. In it, I choose a different indie or small press tabletop RPG that is not officially licensed for Star Wars. And I hack, reskin, or just declare that it is set in Star Wars. And then a group gathers, players from the Open Hearth community will sign up for that game. This is a quarterly. I can officially say that now because it's definitely taking place for more than 3 months. It's maybe even a semi-annual. Semi-annual always messes me up. Like, is it twice? Anyway, it's a 6-monthy thing. It's going to be a while. We're playing for at least 3 months or more. This game is going to be running for a bit. It's called Fellowship. And Fellowship is a Powered by the Apocalypse game about a group of people who are doing a thing inspired by fiction like Lord of the Rings, but also Jojo's Bizarre Adventure and a number of other anime. So there is baked within Fellowship itself core. There is an interesting, generally fantasy, but also sci-fi elements, some anime influences, manga as well. I've reskinned it for Star Wars, and um, maybe not the best choice, but because there are 4 books of Fellowship and 3 of them all felt Star Warsy enough to me, I comboed them all together into this Franken game that we are playing. The time setting is post Return of the Jedi movie, but not quite to the Mandalorian series, which takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So it plays in this space where the New Republic is growing to try to wrest control of the galaxy from the Empire. Palpatine is dead. He's totally dead. He's never coming back. He's not going to be like showing up. I don't know, somehow in the future at all. Because he died, guys, just recently. I am using what's called when Disney took over Star Wars and bought the whole IP. They said the movies are canon, all of the novels, the thousands of novels and everything else are all legends, meaning that they're not officially canon. That's canon with 2 ends instead of 3 ends. I'm pulling in, much as Disney has, they'll pull in some of the things from Legends and make them canon. I'm pulling in the idea of Warlord Zinj. Zinj was one of the novel characters, very interesting idea that he said, "Oh, Palpatine's dead. That sucks. But I'm still in control of this. I'm now the warlord of the Empire, and he is in control of a slice of the galaxy, an Imperial remnant." And I feel like the Mandalorian show made space for that, but they had their own ideas. They were setting up the return of Thrawn, ooh, yay. Boy, that's a giant head. But there we go. Greg has been nice enough to show us a picture of Warlord Zinj. Thank you very much. I prefer the pic of Zop, so good call, but thank you. So, Warlord Zinj, he has been a big bad in the length of the Star Wars Saturdays campaign that I have run. The campaign has now entered its 6th year, and the pitch for this fellowship game was that because there is a flavor of fellowship called In Rebellion that is all about taking down an empire, I said, hey, that would be neat. And the pitch then for this was this is the story of the fall of Warlord Zinj. We haven't gotten there yet. We have had a great deal of fun with this crew. But that's one of the earlier mentions of we're going to go a bit, like definitely a quarter, maybe a bit longer. By the way, I see that chat comment, and that's delightful, very very funny. So, in last session, which if you've watched, was cut abruptly short because my internet went down for several hours and froze me in a particular situation. of a dramatic pause. The crew went to Dathomir, and you are there specifically because you have intel about an Imperial lieutenant, uh, a leader of the Empire, known as Terran Malicos. Who is Terran Malicos? The name may sound familiar to those who played the Star Wars Jedi Outcast video game series. I thought he was neat. He is a former Jedi Knight who has fallen to the.
Actually, Rich, it was the Jedi Fallen Order game, not Jedi
Thank you. You're
Outcast.
right. You're right. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait, was it that one or that one? Thank you very much, Cody. I appreciate that. Keep me on the level so other people can't add us in the comments. Cody, you are a blessing. He's from the Jedi Outcast video game. A former Jedi who fell to the dark side. No, wait, I did it again, didn't I? Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order. You fixed it, and then I broke it again, but I fixed it together. You just can't see the seams of glue, right? It's all good. Former Jedi from a video game, who's defeated in the video game, but for somehow he returns. Maybe we're ignoring the video game. Well, I mean, you play the person who defeats. It's fine. You're right. Maybe those cutscenes on the YouTube are wrong. He slew the leader of the Night Brothers, Brother Viscus, and took over the clan. Yes, Brother Viscus, very Star Wars name, in my opinion. No, I'm not. I'm good. So he is running things. In last session, you guys went to a cantina. You discovered that Malicos has his Night Brothers and others in the Empire mining deep into the core of Dathomir and extracting what Whisper, a Chiss, an informant of yours, she called a poison. She also informed you that Matron Chevales was not aware of what Terra Malicos has been doing, but Whisper believes that Warlord Zinj would not use this poison against his own people because the Empire's in control. I think that makes no sense to Whisper. She is a logical Chiss in that way. But you also, as a group, mostly Nanta, convinced her that it is worth considering the idea of rebelling and perhaps setting up a new and different leadership for the good of Dathomir. And that good of Dathomir might have her in a seat of power. Oh, that seemed tempting to her, and she is recruited into your fellowship. We shall see if that works out to the betterment of you guys, or is just replacing one bad guy with another bad guy. I'm not sure. That's for a future game to figure out. We ended the session with Darren winning a shock boxing match, and it was unfortunately unresolved if Darren, after being tempted by the Sith holocron he carries to keep safe, if he gave in to the temptations of the holocron to kill the Trandoshan that Darren was fighting or not. A pitch to the group before we started recording the idea of us kicking forward a bit. I would like to make space for us to do brief introductions of characters before we jump into things. So let's start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, which means that Cody, you get to go first. Please introduce yourself and tell us briefly about your character.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Oron the Jedi, which is a reskinned elf playbook from Fellowship. And you might be hearing squeaking. That is my living loft wolf behind me. Oron, he's mid 40s Jedi. He escaped Order 66, of course, because he had to, because you gotta if you're going to be in this time frame and want to play a Jedi. He was following an ancient path of the Jedi, the Wayseeker, someone who's kind of outside of the Order, letting the Force guide them to where the Force will. He has found a semi-pseudo apprentice, or perhaps person of interest in Darren von Vorlock, their force powers and their willingness to use them for good or ill is concerning to Oron, so he has to be a part of that. And yeah, I don't know. You don't need to know anything else about me. He's a little bit of a old guy and still trying to find his way in the universe.
It's true.
Great, nailed it.
You killed an assassin droid just recently too. Good job.
Just did that. Just did that because I
Did
could.
that.
You know.
Good stuff. Next up is Steven.
Hi, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Nanta the Ewok, whose pronouns are also he, him. And Nanta has a translator droid, R0, in my picture. And Nanta's a little bit of a fiery spitball, plays pranks, that kind of stuff, but also is the ship's cook, so is eager to try out new foods and meet new people.
Nice. And
Hey.
then Kay, you're up.
Yes, me. I'm Kay of the She and They Variety, and I play Darren von Vorlock, our heir, a Vorin who has found himself in a tug of war right now between a Sith and a Jedi as he's trying to understand his place in the world as well as the powers around him, who currently is baby Bjorning something called a Sith holocron against his heart. Maybe a bad thing, I'm being told. I don't know. Oh, he also might have just committed a heinous murder in a game.
It's
To be
true.
said.
We're all on tenterhooks. What could Darren have done? Greg, you're up next.
Hey, Greg. He and him pronouns, playing Zop. He and him pronouns as well. Zop is a Rhodian bounty hunter, badass, makes cool weapons out of anything that's around. Totally trying to make Nanta a part of the fold, and is a little concerned that Darren is going off the deep end. Oron killed an assassin droid that was after me, so that was good. I'm not even sure Zop knows that part.
Well, that's true. Maybe he doesn't. He moved on. You know, he had other things. Last but certainly not least, Tyler.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns. I'm playing the matron Chevelza Andres, who is a Dathomiri witch, not a Night Sister, walking that line, kind of. But I am the Nemesis playbook. I work for the leader of our empire, but I have my own agenda, my own desires, and part of that involves helping slash using the fellowship to push my things forward. There are a lot of little things with the Nemesis playbook. We will see those along the way, but part of it is that they can become redeemed and join with the fellowship. And Chevelza is, for the most part, her desire is to see her planet free, and there is an element of she thinks Zinj is a total moron and wants to see him dead.
He's not aware of that. It's true. So, we begin our session with a little bit of a soundscape that you hear a bit of what would be considered classical music, string music. It's very refined, sounds regal, and then there's this underlayment of the that we have as a culture understood. Oh, this is the sound effect for a very large ship moving through space. The camera comes up on Warlord Zinj. He is seated in a very nice looking office that is set by a particular transparent steel airlock that is fashioned like Emperor Palpatine's, where his throne sat before, except Warlord Zinj is sitting at a desk. He has work to do. He may be an overlord or a warlord, but he's not just there to reign over things. He's there to direct things. And so we see the space, and we also see that there's just like a little sliver of a planet, which we, the group, know as Sereno. He is in a superstar destroyer that is in orbit around the planet of Sereno, the planet he calls home. He touches a button and a small blue hollow springs up from the emitter that has been installed in his desk. And we see the image of the matron, Chevale's Henri's. And the warlord Zen, she has this small goblet of wine and he takes a sip. Matron Chevale's.
Yes, my warlord.
I'm hearing disturbing news about the planet that you assured me would be a powerful get for the Empire. Report.
I discovered some rebellious activities on Vorlock, but I assure you, those seem to have been rooted out, Warlord. However, there was activity that I was unaware was going to be taking place that perhaps riled the population some.
Almost sounds like an accusation, matron. Surely you understand that my plans have layers.
Of course, but it is difficult for me to serve to my highest capacity when I am left in the dark.
You work best in the dark, and that's where you'll be kept.
I see, my warlord.
I have reports from the admirals that there was a ship that left the planet. What do you know of it?
I mentioned to you, my warlord, that I sensed the presence of the Force, and you seemed less interested in that, and I believe that former Jedi has taken to sticking their nose in your business, my warlord.
Sword-wielding fanatics, your long-dead religion, helped to bring about the fall of Emperor Palpatine. I have no interest in him or his projects related to the Force.
I understand, my warlord, but the people can often be rallied by such figures. I bring it up purely as a political point.
So, if this Force user has left Varlock, where did they go?
I fear, my warlord, that they may be looking into my own home world. I know that you have great faith in Balakos, but surely I would be better suited to handle problems on Dathomir.
I think that we may have stumbled into a potential move here. And I'm quite interested in seeing what move we've triggered. So I know you have a number of playbook moves and cuts that you have access to. Are any of those you feel appropriate in this situation, or are you simply trying to talk sense to?
I sadly can't talk sense as much as I would sort of want to, but I have no wisdom and have not allowed that that move.
Oh, how cool is that? So you have no, do you have, so are you saying you have no mechanical power to talk Warlord's engine to doing a thing?
No, because not him, because I can't speak harshly to him. I'm not in a position to do that.
Got it. Awesome. So then I know his reaction. You will do no such thing, matron.
As you will,
Malicos
my
has not
warlord.
failed me.
I see. And what orders do you have for me, my warlord?
Is there any value in Vorlock now that this young one
I have
has left?
I have left. I have an agent close to the throne. If there should be any difficulties, I would be informed. And I have let the Queen know that rebellion would be handled most harshly. I've also, because of the disruption that occurred on the planet, made it clear that the rebellion are terrorists, and this was entirely their fault. Hopefully, they will be good citizens of the Empire going forward.
An empire does not function on hope, Matron Chevalsa. I think this queen needs to be replaced. That is your task.
You will, I won't.
And I think that's like he reaches and he ends the broadcast. So there we should go. All right. We pick up with the crew, Nanta, Oron, Zop, Darren, and whoever else you wish to pull from the ship. And I like the idea of you guys looking over the Dathomir. By the way, look, Tyler has an awesome pick of Dathomir. It's very kind of desert-like, except cast in a blood red. And the lot of you are overlooking the mining operation where there are Knight brothers who are working alongside, well, not working alongside, they are overseeing a number of people being forced to work in the mines to extract this Star Wars. So I'm going for the like viscous green. Also, that ties very much to the Night Sisters when their magic has been used. So there's like viscous green liquid that is mostly in these containers. And there is a very large ship, and there are people who are putting forth a great deal of effort pushing these containers onto hover pads, and then the Knight brothers are, very easily moving those hover pads and arranging them in the ship. So yeah, I think that's our opening shot. Is you guys have reached the mine where the Knight brothers are running the mine for Terran Malicos, and I'm curious, Zop, are you
Takes
with
down the
the
macro
rest?
binoculars.
Yes.
I would actually love to use one of my pieces of gear, which is cunning as can be. I can ask a question from look closely without rolling, but only one. Is something hidden or out of place? If so, what looks suspicious?
You're watching closely with your macro binoculars. Is there it's a gear thing? What is that? Is that gear noted, or is just called
Oh,
gear, but it's effectively a move? What's the thing?
yeah, it's just a gear. Cunning as can be. 2 uses. Use this to look closely without rolling.
Oh, neat. So it's the fact that you're cunning. It's not a thing that you're using. You being
Yeah.
cunning. Awesome.
Yeah.
You notice that there are a number of these laborers who look very similar. In fact, identical, except for perhaps a haircut or a tattoo. They're older or appear older. And you get the feeling that they are possibly plants. Does that make sense? I want to make sure.
That they are
not slaves who want to be freed. They are part of a trap.
this is not the real operation.
It may be the operation, but Malicos appears to have seeded in some extra heavies.
Gotcha. They're a little too built out. Got it.
Yes.
Zop takes down the micro binoculars. There's clones. But I think they've been placed. I don't think this is... It's a trap. Do we
Then-
spring it?
Let's get started.
RO, no, that's not.
Think we just, yeah, if it's a trap and they're not real, we just set it off and watch it blow in their faces.
Knowing it is a trap gives us something of an upper hand, but this might just be the bait in the trap, as it were. We might not see exactly what is waiting for us. Keep an open eye and an open mind, and perhaps we'll see it through.
Nanta and I could perhaps lead them away.
You want a distraction? I can give you a distraction.
I don't know that us splitting up anymore would be safe if this is a trap. You might lead off half of them, but we don't know again when the other shoe drops, what's coming. I think it better if we stay together on this. I would like to... This feels like it's going to be a tough one because it is on Dathomir, but I would like to use Sense the Arcane. Immediately know what here is mystical and where it is, and if there is nothing mystical here, I do not mark this spell. Force power.
Okay. Let's see you give it a shot. Oh, how can I make you use gear to have to roll that? Is that possible? Because I've heard that this game I need to make you use gear. Is
Well,
that possible?
Rich, actually, this is just an elder art. I just get to use it.
Oh, cool.
But
But using up the elder art means that you're gonna have to recover in order to
Yes.
recover it. So there we go.
Mhm. So yes, I'm marking Sense the Arcane. Well, I only mark it if there is something mystical here. If there's nothing mystical, which I don't think is possible, then I do not mark it. So,
Oh, there's mystical.
what here is mystical and where is it?
Ooh, I think. So here's I was trying to find a map, but I didn't plan ahead. So I'm imagining you guys are overlooking something similar to like a strip mine. So there's this bed with dark red viscous liquid that maybe was a river, an underground river at one point, and then a deeper mine shaft. So they've kind of stripped mine to the point and now dug a hole. So you see this bowl and you're overlooking the bowl, but there is a spire, very much like what's right behind Tyler's head. That spire there, and that is where Terran Malicos is. And
So I sense Terran Malicos' presence.
you sense his very presence, and I think you realize he senses you as well.
Our enemy is here. It's closer than we perhaps realized, can we call in the rebellion? Can we get the siege equipment here in time? Zop, Nanta, Darren?
Yes, we could have them bring it here with haste. If I give the order, they'll listen.
Okay. Then what's your plan? What do you guys want to do?
I perhaps will take a page out of the little one's book. And Oran stands up and pulls his lightsaber, and he walks. I'm going to walk around to another side of the bowl to come down from and be the distraction.
Oh, the little one style. That means you, Nanta. You're the little one, in case you felt infantilized. That was on purpose. Sweet. So we have the or just walking. Single person, like walking down, right?
Igniting my lightsaber ignited, so they
Oh,
see it.
snap!
Yes, I'm attempting to act as a distraction to keep them busy, but also to just draw all of their attention.
Oh yes, I think you are acting as a distraction. You've told us how. I think you need to roll plus courage.
I will roll plus courage. Of course, my courage is 0, so I'm feeling good about that. But I'm with the force. The force is with me. And here we go. 9. What did I say?
Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
I buy some time and their attention is all on you for now, but on a 9-, they will retaliate against you when the time is up. I am not surprised.
Yeah, I think you start walking the slow walk around I imagine like the bowl itself. There's like and you ignite that lightsaber. First they look up, then they see the lightsaber. There's a good bit of activity between the Knight brothers, and then a few of them with what are they in Fallen Order? What weapons did they use?
They use bows, but I believe I think they're called light bows, honestly.
It's lightsaber bows.
Classic. Yeah, they do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think there are a number of them who draw out light bows.
Energy bows. They're energy bows, not light bows. Of course. How silly. It is not a lightsaber bow. It is an energy bow. Yes.
They draw back their energy bows, and the sound mixer of this show like steals Hank's bow from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon sound effect. And that's just really just for me and Tyler, because all y'all are young and fuck you. No, I love you. I love you, young ones. So they draw back their energy bows and track you. And I think one of the older Knight brothers will approach and wait for you. But you can see that he's speaking with someone.
I keep going down. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely distracted. There's a lot of activity. All the Knight brothers are doing the thing. The slaves continue their work, but they have less minders because half of the force, I think a dozen Knight brothers, are watching you, Oron.
Then when I see that the most of the laborers, the slaves, right, are without the Knight brothers above them, Oron's gonna raise his lightsaber high above his head, and I'm gonna call out, "The force will make you free. Rise now against your masters and take your life back."
That is a very dangerous thing you're doing. You're going from I'm approaching and threatening to I'm trying to rise these folks up. If you wish, you may try to inspire them, but there is great danger to you here. They will fire on you, is what I'm saying.
That's a-okay. That's I expect something. Here's a question.
Cool.
is me suggesting this to these people, is this what's best for them? Because I do mean it. And if it's the best for them and they listen, I get to roll another move, reveal the way.
It's interesting. I do think for those who are enslaved here, it's dangerous, but freedom has a price. I think it is best for them.
All
For
right,
those
so
who
this is
survive.
going to trigger a move I borrowed from the lantern, which once I looked at the lantern, I realized, oh, that should have been the Jedi. That was my bad. The elf and the lantern work though. Reveal the way. When you tell someone what is best for them, you mean it, and they listen. Roll plus wisdom. On a 10 plus, they'll do as you say with hope. On a 7 and 9, they'll do it, but they either do it in a way they think is best, or they will only do it if you help them. And on a 6 minus, they reject your advice entirely.
Cool.
So
we're gonna cut, just not cut as in GM move, but we're going to cut as in TV show terminology. We cut away from Oron starting that. You're about to roll the dice. And I believe got a message in chat, Kay, you're saying Darren is going to order the siege tank to come. And
Yes.
I don't think we have a move for that, so I guess it will just do you.
I think it just comes under my liege. Yes, my liege. When you issue a command to someone below your rank, they'll do it immediately, no questions asked.
Cool. Yeah, they're on their way. How far away and I'm not super stressed about the answer to this, just trying to understand. Do we imagine that the siege engine was far away because we did skip some time? There's some stuff that was edited out of the final cut here.
There's some lost footage. There was a
Yes.
fire.
It's on the Blu-ray.
So
So
I
how
imagined it
far
was
away?
up in orbit waiting to come down. So it
Nice.
takes a little bit of time, but it's not far away.
That sounds awesome. I like that.
Hiding behind one of the moons.
Ooh,
Classic.
Yes. So it's on the other side of Tyler's head. Tyler's picture, I had no idea it would be so important and vital to this game. I really appreciate it. Cool. So Oren, you're ticking off a move.
all right, here comes reveal the way. I got a 5. Hold on. Let me is there something here I can do? No.
Child.
All right. I
have something I would like to do, but we haven't seen any action from Nanta or Darren. So if someone else wants to interrupt,
Yeah, and before
has the ability.
Zop does a thing or before others want to do their thing, let me simply say that the miss result is part of this move. It's not I get a cut or move. It's on a 6 minus, they reject your advice entirely. So yeah, I think they will cower and scamper away. Except for those guys that you recognize, they're going to consider it. Yes, maybe they will rise to up, but you get a feeling that that's not.
So I think Oron, seeing that his speech failed him in this time, he takes a stance, grips the lightsaber, both hands on it, and he enters a defensive stance. It's not going to be a headlong assault anymore. It's going to be a defensive distraction.
Oh, yeah, it is. And I think standing by you and growling and also looking fierce is Freya, your Loth Wolf. So, Greg, what were you interested in Zop doing? And I definitely want to see what had Nanta and Darren been up to other than calling for the reinforcements.
Basically, I'm holding back my smell danger to finish one of the people who might threaten Oron.
Oh, cool. So you're like defending. You're playing on defending him a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds
Before somebody could strike at Oron, I am prepared to finish them before that can happen.
I think as we see the ones that you were trying to talk to kind of scampering away, and those two still with you, we see where they scamper. There's some of the guards that have moved up and have grabbed one of them and are talking to him pretty harshly at the moment.
Guards grabbed who?
One of the keep miners that Oron spoke to, and then they scampered away.
Okay.
They seem to be trying. They seem to be trying to get some information out of him. I'm pulling to twitch the curtain. I'm doing the cut, turn their move back on them, redirect or punish the move they just made.
Spicy. Did so Oron mentioned that Terran was close. Did he give any indication where?
I did not, no, because I think no, Orange just didn't. Orange, he said the enemy's close.
Okay, just checking because Darren's stupid. But no, if if there was no indication for that, then Darren is gonna draw his Beskar blade and is gonna try to stealthily move into a position to take out someone.
Ooh, by someone, do you mean the Knight Brothers who are coming out against Oron, or some of the clone warrior plants that were pointed
Probably
out
the
to you?
clone warrior plants.
Okay, cool.
He has weird feelings about Knight Brothers after talking to Chevalson.
Weird, sexy feelings, like. Sorry.
No,
Doesn't
like
matter.
these people are, I mean, sure, but also these people are like oppressed and are not doing things because they want to, and they're forced and this and that, and they're Chevals's people. Clones aren't Chevals's people.
They're not. Sweet. That sounds great. So I'm curious what Nanta's sneaking down?
Yep. So Nanta is trying to take advantage of this to get down into where the mine is to get a lay of the land. His intent is just to get there while this distraction is happening, and then we'll see what kind of things he can buck up once he gets there.
Awesome. And this is, I'm saying it out loud in case someone has other ideas. I don't see a sneak around move here. So I think that yes.
Getaway is get someplace out of sight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll plus grace. Thank you for that. I've always saw getaway as getting away from trouble, but that is an interesting use of getaway, and I prefer it to the very closed version of it in my brain.
Yep.
I
So
imagine
that's
both.
Go ahead.
I was just say both Nanta and Darren should probably roll that, you think, or just Nanta?
How about Nanta does it and you've got a bond, so Nanta rolls in hope. You guys are working together to do that. So
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Is your intention also to get into the mine itself?
Well, my intention is to start killing clones or attacking clones.
Okay.
Oh, well, I think you just do that thing.
Oh, okay. Well, he was trying to like do it stealthily, so I wasn't sure if I should be.
Well,
stealthy.
he's trying to sneak down to get a view of
Okay.
the stuff that's being mined, and it seems like you're just coming Darren style, rolling up on these mugs, while Oron is trying to inspire them and failing, and Zop is trying to cover his back. Yeah, this sounds, Darren style.
Yeah, style.
So yeah, you
So
don't
I
have to
got a
roll to
9.
sneak because you're not sneaking. Awesome. A 9 on get away means you choose one. You get there quickly, avoiding any harm along the way. You get there quietly, drawing no attention. You grab someone nearby and bring them with you.
Ooh. I need to get there quietly and drawing no attention, but that move's really interesting.
It is, especially now that you've made it not just getting away from danger, but a possible sneaking up on thing. I like that. I'm gonna rename it. Or 2. Get away or 2. There we go.
Okay.
Sweet. So you sneak in, Nanta, and yeah, you see that they have this device that has set up, and it's drawing. It's like sucking the marrow from the bones of Dathomir. And there are a bunch of people who are there, and then it just is like an udder, like gushing out this poison into pods that they load into a larger container to carry out. And they're continuing the work because they've been ordered to. The people here are the slaves, obviously, those who are being forced to work. None of the folks you recognize as clones are among those. There are a few overseers here. Oron, how did you had this? You're getting attacked, I think. Is that where we left you? I want to make sure.
Well, yeah, yeah, the attack hadn't started flying yet. But yes, I believe everyone was taking sight. Oron took a defensive stance, and he's ready to weather the storm.
Yeah, the leader, you declare, "Hey, rise up," and he cackles at you and then runs pell-mell straight towards you. You hear the low hum of his pair of long vibro blades. He is going to eviscerate you, he thinks. He's never fought anyone with a lightsaber before. He's only seen one person wield a lightsaber, and you're not him, so it's going to work out in his head, he thinks. He's done the math.
I'm going to use smell danger.
Are you now?
To react right before Oron and this leader engage in combat. And then I'm also going to burn one of my disruptor power packs to use my rifle, which means I get to just roll. I get to roll finish them even if I don't have the advantage.
You're just gonna take this guy in a shot, down in a shot? Oh,
Yep.
that's nasty.
So I'm gonna roll finish them +2 because of blood. And hopefully, if this works, disruptor rounds just make people disappear into a mist.
Yes, I have seen it. Mando
For
actually
K,
disrupted a
yes,
dude.
yeah, Mando has a disruptor rifle. So
Yeah, thank you for reminding us of that. That is
that's
awesome.
12.
That's a 12, baby.
Wow. Yeah, this guy, grrr, and then, and maybe some of the Night Brothers didn't see that there was a disruptor shot, but they saw dude who's like their like sub boss just disrupt. That's going to strike the fear in some guys, and lots of energy bows are coming at energy arrows are coming at you now, or I'm like, kill the thing that just killed that guy. What do you wish to do about it? Because you're about to get hurt.
Yeah, I think Oron, he was standing there very nervous at his lack of inspiration, sees this heavy coming towards him. He's kind of shifting his stance, and then and it just breathes, sees all these energy bows getting pulled back. I don't know if there's a move to just defend. So I think what I'm going to try and do is,
Overcome encapsulates avoid when you.
Oh, it does. You're absolutely right. That's totally. It's overcome is just basically like the fight move.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stand my ground, and I want to overcome the energy bow barrage with some force fast, blocks.
Sounds awesome.
Okay. So tell us how you do it and roll the appropriate stat. I think using the force, it's a sense more than a courage or blood thing, right?
Sure. You're doing a little Yada Majutsu style there to block those energy bolts with your lightsaber. Sounds
That's
awesome.
right.
I hope you roll well.
I do too. Hey, a 10. I'll take it. Roll the 6 and a 1.
You'll take a full success.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take a full success.
On a 10 plus, you stop the obstacle, threat, cut, or move from causing harm. I was definitely going to damage one of your stats. I just want to say that out loud. That was exactly what I was going to do.
You were trying, but you can't
to do the game stuffs.
My muscles are thick with the might of the force.
So
I have that lactic acid buildup, from a crazy strength workout. But the strength workout is the force.
Wow. Yeah. Darren, there is a half dozen Night Brothers firing energy bows at Oron, who you reach. What do you want to do about that?
I'm going after the clones that are looking like they're
you're going after the clones. That's right. Sorry, you very clearly said you were more interested in dealing with the clones.
But Darren is judge, jury, and executioner. And he's got the Bethgar sword out, and he's going for it.
Kill them all, vanquish them.
I think his
feel
initial
feel
thought was to
strength.
cut.
Would
Yeah.
you like to roll with? Technically, we call it hope. What?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, his original, he's like, I'm gonna go for, like the tendons and cut them at the, the edge of the back of their legs so that they can't move. And then suddenly he hears this voice, and the trajectory of his blade, without even thinking, just changes. So I believe that's 3d6 with my modifier. I'm gonna roll blood because that seems accurate here.
Yeah.
That's
hey.
a 14.
Yeah, it would have been a 6+ modifier, but instead it's a full success. What does it look like as you mow through these clones who are they're no cakewalk?
Yeah. I think it's almost like you see that scene, that fire that was in his eyes as he was standing above the battle in the shock battle. That same sort of glaze almost overcomes that golden hue, but then there's like a wispy bright red against it. And we see as like his blade just like hits like the one weak spot in their armor and just right through the back of the first guy, just right into the heart. And then like he just like does like a sort of swish of his leg, and he comes up and just slits an artery along another's thigh, and then goes up to like a last one and just against, and he uses like the edge of the blade to just break their neck.
Wow. That is totally that is great. It's definitely PG-13 plus. Yeah, that's good. That's the FX version. It's not on Disney Plus. Boom goes the dynamite as Darren style is unleashed. It's not you thought disrupting somebody. Yeah.
Was that the last person of the Fellowship to go this round?
I think it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Then as you're finishing off the last one, he's speaking into a communicator. Order 47. We seem to have Rebecca. And you hear a sound from back in sort of the barrack area of this mine. And you see several, I'd say half a dozen. Well, let's go with a dozen. I like a nice big bit of the basic slaves, the people they're forcing to work, being led forward with 3 clone troopers behind them, guns trained in their backs. As one of them says, "Unless you want them all dead, I suggest you put down your weapons." And that is me taking my soft cut to a hard.
Tuta, Jojo, Jojo. That's Zop in Rhodian over the intercom telling you to stop, Darren.
Oh, they're talking to Darren specifically.
Well, you are certainly the closest and just killed a whole bunch of their fellows.
Darren's doing the work, all right?
Darren's doing the work, and I think he's kind of in like that position where like his legs are kind of splayed, like one in front, one in back, and he's got like the blade, and like we see like the blood dripping off of it. It's like at his sort of cheek level, and just yeah, he's got these golden red tinted eyes all over, and I think it's like a bit of a standoff. I think he's not moving, he's not going anywhere, but he's like holding the blade.
Zop has actually we see the crosshair of Zop's rifle going back and forth now between Darren and the
So
rest
you
of
stand
them.
with your sword?
He's just holding the sword. He's not moving, he's not going anywhere. The sword is just held and he's standing.
One of the rifles goes off, one of the slaves drops. I have 11 more.
Darren, put the blade down. We came here to save people. Oron deignites his lightsaber. Deignite, whatever the reverse of that is. Extinguishes is the word. His lightsaber. And he puts it on his belt.
It's a trick, Darren. They're afraid of you.
I no. What do you do, Darren?
Okay, yeah. So I have this move called How Dare You.
Uh-huh.
When someone insults you to your face, you may choose to lash out or remain stoic. If you lash out, roll to finish them with blood. I think we hear like the noise of the bullet, and immediately as soon as it goes, Darren has like sort of done this like leap, almost like a pirouette, and he's gonna lash out with violence, with blood, to finish this guy who took the shot and just take him out. Because he insulted him.
Nice. And I think that is not a. Oh, it is a. Oh, yeah, you get to roll with
Yep.
blood
To finish him.
to lash out with your weapon.
And I believe I still have hope, right?
You do.
Why would he have help?
Because you're acting on what the
I'm acting on the hollow.
buddy, what your
Yeah,
buddy
buddy.
suggested.
Oh, the holocron.
Yeah.
Ah.
Best friend, close.
13
advisor.
Ooh.
to finish him.
Oh, that's pretty nasty. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
if the holocron's a companion, then you have to mark a bond.
Oh,
Or mark
yes,
a-
let's do that.
Yeah, you have to mark
Thank you.
something that you have as the holocron's stat, basically.
Yeah.
And then until they're healed, fixed, or whatever, then they can't do that again. Companions give you hope for the amount of traits they have,
Cool.
and
Thank
then
you.
after
Yeah,
you
that's
do
good.
more than that, you lose the bond.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna stick him down.
Oh, he's on there.
Oh, he's on there?
I will become a trained rider of the Voron holocron to lead my people.
Oh, cool. Okay. So mark that bond, and
Yes.
you've used up that hope, and excellent.
Yeah, it's a 13. So I think, yeah, I see like it's so fast. I think Zop, you had thought to train it to like maybe like hit him to make him just go down, like just like a quick thing. And before you can even make that, he has moved with the speed of that first shot, and his blade is just through the throat of that guy.
Rich, it's up to you. I hand to you. You got
That was good.
the two other clone troopers there with their guns. Do they go after Darren, or do they start shooting slaves? I leave in your hands.
I will say it's very clear that Darren is immediately going for them. If they don't shoot at him, they're in trouble.
Ooh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, you're going towards the clones, and yeah, I think the clones are gonna fire at you. You are the biggest threat, and one of them flips out a thermal detonator. Yeah, there we go. That's a pretty vicious move. Rolls it right up to you, Darren, and it's probably going to kill them and also kill a bunch of the slaves. What do you wish to do?
So they've thrown this, and it's gonna kill everyone in this radius, right?
Yeah, big honking grenade. May even cause like this is in, if I remember, is this out in the open, or is this in the, okay, cool. Just
Yeah.
wanted to-
This is decently open.
Mhm.
Where did that go? That should be on my sheet. This stillness should be listed as a thing on my sheet that I can mark.
Oh, you're right. You did have the stillness as
I
a.
did have that. Where did that go? No.
Okay, well, we'll just recreate it.
Yeah. So hope is for a singular roll, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so the stillness, let me look at this really quick. How does that roll again? Yeah, I think, and let me know if this makes sense or not. I want to know if I could almost like he goes to kind of, actually, he's in kind of, does the holocron say anything? Actually, before I make this choice, does the holocron say anything?
I mean, the holocron, you get the feeling that the holocron does not want you to die.
Yeah, I think I want to, like, utilizing the stillness, which we know is kind of like the force. And I'm not sure how I could do this. Let me know if there's like a move how this would work. I want to like force throw it essentially away, like using the stillness. Like it just lifts and it goes, and he throws it into a mountain or something. Is that something I can do, or do I need to think of something else?
Let's look at
I
our
will
moves.
argue I took a move to be able to do force throws.
Yeah, so I think
Okay. No, that's valid.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, then I think
I mean, you could try to get away.
no, he doesn't. I think he wants. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking at my moves and stuff real quick.
Try to an overcome to chunk it away or something along those lines.
That's true. That's a possibility.
Could I attempt to get away?
I figured sort of like that. I think you and I have the same idea possibly. I have noble bearing. Your allies are always where you need them most. When you're in dire need, you may erase one of your bonds to have the person listed in that bond appear at your side. And so I think it's almost like he calls out like, Orin, I need the force. And like Orin, like,
Or it's not a companion. I think
Oh,
that's
is it?
that's
it's
Verzi or
specifically
Turtle, right?
It
Does
just
it-
says your
I thought-
allies.
Yeah, it just says allies.
So, okay, I thought you said companion. Sorry.
No,
But
sorry.
then
I
that
might
would
have just,
cut the bond with Orin, which is great because it means
is
when they
great
work
in
together,
this.
they'll be in despair from then on until they can reforge a bond.
Yes, do it.
yeah, I think that's great. And so he's like, I need you to come use the force. And he'd like Oron, like, I don't know, like some like the stillness in the force, like pull at you to like immediately bring you to my side. Oh, Zop.
I plan to
Saw
give
that.
you a choice on that in a minute with a cut. We'll see.
So my hope then is to get away. And I have poetry in motion. When I get away, I can choose an extra option from the list, even on a 6-. So my hope is to get there quickly, which is out of the blast of this thermal detonator. This is, and then grab someone nearby and bring them with me. This is the turn it on force speed as the droidicas are coming down the tunnel in episode 1.
All
right,
noticed
so
that you could take a person with you.
That's right.
You're
And
rolling overcome, right?
I'm going to be rolling. I'm rolling get away. Not overcome.
Yeah, Darren summons Orin. Orin makes his choice about how he's going to deal with it, and his choice is save Darren.
If
Yeah.
you overcome it, I can give you hope, just as a thing, have a move. But that's
Too
your
late.
choice.
We're getting out of here.
Nice.
7. On a 7, I get 2. I think, right? Choose one, but then I get an extra one from poetry in motion. So yeah,
Okay,
I'm going to get there quickly, avoiding any harm along the way, and grab someone nearby and take them with them. So basically, the force stillness, pulls Oron within range of Darren, and then Oron just kind of does like that little bit of a sprinter's crouch, and then bolts forward, grabbing Darren and fleeing through the blast range of this thermal detonator.
It was just like such a dad grab.
Yeah, I threw it. Yeah, Oron throws Darren over his shoulder.
Delightful.
And so Darren's bond is now severed with me. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Whoa.
And thank you for that, Tyler. I'm not sure if I have ever put that in place or utilized that. So thank you. Sweet. So we have Orin, who's moved away after being saved by Zop from having to fight with the leader of the Night Brothers. And Orin has moved to grab Darren. The thermal detonator goes off. We see like a huge flash and then silhouettes of bodies falling in it, but cut away. Nanta, you hear that explosion where you've snuck in. Things are going frantic in the cave areas. The slaves are now like cowering, and the Night Brothers, who are in charge, are trying to get an idea of what's happening. What do you do, Nanta?
So I've snuck in and I've worked my way around. You said that there were a couple of overseers in here watching the slaves. And that there's like this what did you call it? Some kind of machine that's pulling the
Yes.
poison out, right? And
Yeah.
this machine is like the size of a barrel, or it's the size of like
No,
a tank.
it's like the size of a Yugo. It's big and it has a huge shunt coming off the front that's drawing in the poison, the greenish liquid.
So I'm gonna sneak up behind one of these overseers. And I have a move called Brutally Cunning. When you strike at an enemy from ambush, you may kill them. It does not work against a threat to the world.
Okay.
So what we see on screen is, little Ewok drops down on the back of this overseer and just grabs a hold of his neck and twists it and cracks it. And then as he drops off, he shoves the overseer, and my intention is to shove it into the machine intake to fuck things up, right?
It sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I think that might be an overcome.
Sure. Let's have you overcome the device to stop it
Okay.
from continuing to work.
So that's with any stat.
Mm-hmm.
Blood is kind of the fighting stat.
Yeah.
I could also do courage. I don't think it's sense or wisdom. Do you think it's more fighty or courageous?
I think it's courageous. You're not fighting a thing. You're actually sticking something in it, and you're not sure what could happen. Like it could
Right.
blow up on you. So that seems courageous and foolish.
Perfect. Let's do that. That's only a 6.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that. I think I'm going with this is a thing that will bring this session to a close, but I think it explodes.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think it explodes, like it gums up. People start running. The couple of overseers you haven't cagged start running, and you got short legs. So explosion. And we don't know what's
Perfect.
happened to Nanta, and I think that is where we will end the session because I know we've got a hard stop for at least one player. So
Can I do something real quick?
Sure.
I want to hit a move, show a downside, or a cut, show a downside on Zop there. This is going on, and show a downside to an action that they made. I'm going to ask you, Zop, what are you going to pay the price to keep the bond with Darren? Are you losing the bond with Darren, seeing what he's willing to do to innocence in his rage? Of course, pay the price could be a stat or an equipment that would be appropriate.
Yeah, I think that breaks the bond with Darren, because I have to hold to my Rhodian agenda. My people are born free, determined to follow their hearts and choose their own destinies. And find it. Yeah.
So my 2 bond goes to a 1, or does it lose both?
It would just degrade.
Okay.
Oh no, not your bond. It would be Zop's bond.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, my
Zop's
bond with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not reciprocal.
So do I
Okay.
just blank that bond out then?
You blank that. Matter of fact, you
Okay.
can erase it. You're going to have to form a new type
A
of bond.
new bond.
No bond.
Teaching me how to be better at this game. I really appreciate it. I do. Thank you.
Yes. Also, that means I should get rid of the one that I have for Oron and the one that I have for the Voron Holocron.
No, your holocron is just damaged its trait. It's a heal. Same as
Okay.
any
So
healing
it
yourselves.
works differently to non-PCs than it does to PCs, right?
Well, you
Okay.
can lose the bond if you've done the trait and you do it again. You'd lose the bond.
Some moves also specifically say erase, not mark a
Correct.
use or whatever. And
And
that
you don't have to erase your bond with Zop because it's not reciprocal. Zop doesn't have a bond with you, but you can still keep your bonds with Zop. You just hope only works if both people have a bond together.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very helpful. Thank you. Cool. So, yeah, that is our end. It's big explosion, poison spreading across the bowl of the valley. Don't know where Nanta is. Fighting happening. Delightful. So let's quickly do our end of session questions and move to. We're going to let Cody do stars and wishes, and then continue forward. Did you strike a blow against the Empire as leaders?
Ryan.
You're trying, but I don't think you necessarily have yet. Did you protect the common folk? Fuck no, you did not. You did the opposite of that. Did you learn something new about the Empire and its plans?
Maybe yes, because we're seeing the actual stuff that they're mining and they're moving it off. You know,
we kind of
planet.
learned that
Yeah.
last session.
Oh, you're right.
kinda
You're right.
right.
We learned that was the stuff.
You
Yeah.
saw it, but I don't think you learned new stuff. So I think there's no yeses at the end of this session. Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's quickly move to wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. We're going to do wishes and stars for Cody, and then I need to take a quick bio break when that's done, if that's okay with everybody. All right, wishes, Cody.
Yeah, my wish is to get right to the game next time. I think I've warmed up and I'm ready to go, and that was an insane ending. So next time I want to get right into the mix. I'll hop on the call a half hour early, baby. Let's get that table talk out. I'm done.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll hop in early.
Okay,
Yeah, so
hop
I'm just
early,
I'll
hop
see
early,
ya.
and for anyone who wants to chit chat and folks just want a game, then show up. And we have no Tyler. There is no game next Saturday. It will be
Yes.
2 weeks, which means no Zop for that, right, Greg? Because
Right.
2
Yes.
Saturdays.
No Zop for the next session.
But yes, Tyler.
But yes, Tyler.
Me.
Awesome.
All right,
You're doomed.
cool. Any other wishes, Cody?
That's my one wish.
Cool. You got any stars to throw?
Just a huge star to K. K, never mind. Maybe you don't ever see Star Wars because that gives you such a place to be like, I'm gonna do this. And it's a thing like listening to the holocron, going buck wild and chopping people up. It's like it's something that, you know, if you have any sort of other contextual knowledge of Star Wars and like the Force and all that, you're like, oh, I understand that would be like not just like a violent act, that's like a capital E evil act, and that can hinder you, right? Like it's the same thing like in a video game, you're like, oh, I want to do that, but I recognize that's the dark side option or the evil option, and I don't want to be renegade or whatever, so I'm not going to choose it. But you're able to just go hard into that, and I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm loving that arc of what we're going to see, whether Darren's going to become this, you know, rage backed machine of triumph in defeating evil or what. But I'm very here for that. So huge star to UK for just going into it. You have a talking freaking magic stone and it says kill them all, save yourself, whatever, and you're like, all right, it's awesome. Great. Huge star.
Good stuff.
All right, I will catch you all in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Excellent. Thank you, Cody.
Bye.
All right. Take a brief pause and we'll continue. All right, we're back. So we did our into stuff. Let's continue with wishes. Who has wishes?
I'll go first with wishes. Wish I could be here next session. Mostly because of my second wish, which is I'm looking forward to watching the recording and seeing the payoff of Chekhov's droid destroyer siege tank coming in out of orbit and dealing with whatever it's going to deal with, if there's anything left at this point. So yeah, it's my only wish right now.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg. Who else has wishes?
I'm looking forward to a quick dealing with my problems on Vorlock. I have an idea. We'll see how it goes, but kind of a quick dealing with that in a way that follows my orders, but hopefully doesn't actually kill the queen. We'll see. And I'm looking forward to not kind of the aftermath of the battle, seeing the Fellowship deal with what's clearly differences of opinion of philosophy on how to deal with stuff. I think that's going to be fun. And and I have little doubt, but Rich, I hope you make them bleed in this fight. I hope that they have to bleed.
I think that's my wish as well. As I look through, I was looking at this and I was like, well, you can get a stat damaged and you can go necrotic. And I just want to encourage that because it just makes it a lot more difficult to heal. Tyler, is that what you would consider bleeding?
I that it isn't a bad thought if there's something appropriate. Those Knight brothers certainly could have necrotic weaponry, but like spreading some of that damage around, using up some of those things. Now y'all have rolled so well, I could see where Rich is sort of stuck, but you know, making it so that the choices when we get to end a session aren't always let's level.
And I was going to say, I volunteer as tribute. I think I rolled a 3, so I think we're good. Yeah.
Yay! Thank you for volunteering. I appreciate that. Excellent. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Tyler. Greg, we got one. Kay, do you have any wishes?
Yeah, 100%. I am very excited to see whatever this fallout is of Darren kind of leaning into the judge, jury, and executioner aspect and the sort of holocron. And, you know, I think that's just going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see where that goes. Long term, I forever will await the Chevelsa, Oron, and Darren in like a single scene together, like just tugging at it. Like, yes. My wish is also for Nanta to be okay because I love Nanta. In terms of stars, oh my god, Richard, the queen must be replaced. Oh my god, just oh my, like I capital R for Richard in the chat when that happened. So
Yay!
I love Greg, the shifting between the scope of like on Darren on the bad guys, on Darren on the bad guys. That was great. Tyler, you don't pull punches, and I love that. It's so great. You were like, and Darren, like cuts, dun, 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 is so good. I also loved seeing some of like the hesitancy though in Chevalsa as she was dealing with Zinj being like, you know, clearly trying to be somewhat protective. Like I was curious how she kept Darren's name out of her mouth. That was an interesting thing in my opinion. The prince did not come up at all. And then I adore, I say this every time, I just adore Nanta. And just like, I love how he does the things that need to be done while the rest of us sometimes just like jump into action. Nanta is long thought action, whereas a lot of these other characters are short thought action. And I really appreciate having that in the party.
Thank you very much, Kay. Steven, did you have any stars?
I thought of another wish, so I'm going to state that first, which is I want to see Chevelsa more on screen. We saw her separate, and I think that Kay mentioned that like I want to see more interaction because I think whenever we saw the interaction previously with Chevelsa, you know, there was a lot of tension there, and it was really good. So I just wanted to go back to that. Yeah. So this was an awesome session. I really liked how everything was kind of set up. There's this ticking time bomb. There's this trap set for us. And Cody I'm just going to walk down there and say hi to everybody. And then all of a sudden the violence just came out. Like everybody, you know, Zop just disintegrated someone and Darren went all like predator on people. It was just, yeah.
It was pretty vicious and kind of amazing. I agree. Tyler, any stars?
Absolutely. I love the setup. Like Steven said, the kind of strip mining and forced labor, it's so clear evil is occurring. You made a strong baddie, and I like that. It kind of it gives such good direction to where they're going and the threat involved. That was very nicely set up.
Thank you.
Cody going in to try and do an action that honestly has that feeling of that surely won't work, but it is something that Oren would do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that feeling of I've got to give them this chance. I've got to come and do the right thing. And I thought that was a great character choice. Um Nanta is so competent, so good at what this should. If you want an example of what a rebellion should be built around, it's Nanta's. He is going and handling the problems and not getting sidetracked with a lot of the excesses that can go on from that. He is a brilliantly a he's got so much depth, but in these situations, you see this is someone who knows what they're came up in a planet where guerrilla warfare was the standard. It is a fully actualized character with so much depth, and I would say it's amazing and surprising, but it's not. It's Steven. You expect such amazing characters from Steven. Um, Zop is magnificent. I liked how I kind of put you on the spot there at the end. I liked the thought through from it and the idea of, no, I think it's the bond. It's just, I think it is. And it was really cool. I agree. The kind of shifting of the sights, the being there for Orin when it all starts off, all of these things show Zop as this fully realized character, really neat. And Taryn is so perfect for what story we're kind of telling. The Orin and Cheval's push-pull, how the holocron is influencing him, Kay, how you are so powerfully showing where that anger, a character trait you gave us from the beginning, what it's doing to the fellowship and what it's doing to Darren in these moments. And that's just good story. I mean, if we were all singing Kumbaya and keeping multiple bonds, then it'd be nothing but hope. And you just wade through people. So having that wild card makes the story happen. That is so good. So, okay, that's excellent. Those are my stars.
Thank you, Tyler. Gosh, you give really, really good stars. Everyone else does as well. Sorry. Greg.
Hi. Yeah. Steven, I love the murder bear that is Nanta. And I love that finally, I love, I guess it's a star to the dice, but I'm so happy that you rolled poorly. Because yeah, now we have 2 explosions. Any session that ends in 2 explosions is excellent. I guess that's a star to Rich. Um, Tyler, yes, a star for all of the cuts that you used of turning our moves back on us. It's super exciting when Chevalsa is in play because we sort of get a bit more of we just get more hard moves against us. And that always makes things far more exciting. I loved them trooping out the people, and we will start shooting, and then you're just asking, "Do you put the sword down? Oh, you didn't put the sword down. Okay." So what's excellent, Darren, Kay, for leaning into whatever the Sith holocron tells you. Absolutely loved it, and yes, I also loved Cody's walk down. I'm imagining it's like a crater. It's a crater in my head. But just walking down slowly, the very Jedi thing to do, and then it kind of him realizing that he was very much out of his depth was a lot of fun. So yeah, excellent session.
It was. Really good session. Stars all around for strong choices. There was a moment when Tyler was describing Nanta and Oron, and I'm like, Nanta is an Andor character. Oron is a prequels character, and I love seeing the two of them doing things that overlap. And Zop feels very Mandalorian, gritty, and it's just fun to watch all of the mix. I love these characters. Big star to Tyler for running a clinic on Fellowship and making it sing and helping me and just doing it. I trust you, and I love you, brothers, for helping this game be better and teaching me a bit about the magic that you wielded before, and seeing, oh yeah, okay, good. This is helpful. This is helpful. Very helpful. So what kind of character is Darren? Not that. Oh, what kind of character is Darren? I think Darren might be an acolyte character from what I've seen in the trailers and hearing about this new Star Wars series. It might be from there, or Clone Wars. There was a lot of really, really, really deep stuff um with Maul and his brother, and Savage Opress, and Palpatine and Dooku, and then all of the way that the Sith were not just silly evil but motivated for things. Also, there's some stuff in Tales of the Jedi which talks about Dooku's fall that seems to map interestingly here.
The side of that
Cool.
character of Darren that I see is all of the royal stuff that comes in with like Princess Leia and Organa. All that stuff is something that was hinted at. We see parts of it in the movie, but we don't get a lot of it. So it was great to see in earlier sessions the whole family stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I bemoan that we have dallied in some ways, but not from a story perspective. And seeing who Darren is among his people is great for how hardcore he is out in the wild. It's great. Sweet. I really enjoyed the session. Thank you all so much for playing, and we'll see each other in a fortnight. Most of us, except for Greg.
Have a happy the 4th, everyone.
Yeah.